Fox News viewers' average age is 65 years old. Interesting. Who has the most watched news network in all the land? Fox News. Who has the oldest audience in all of cable news? Also Fox News, Lewis.
If I had to guess who had the oldest audience, I would have guessed Fox News for sure.
This is a survey released by analyst Steve Sternberg, and he says that Fox News has the oldest audience among the fully distributed cable networks, and that their average viewer last season was 65 years old, according to Nielsen. Its viewers are even older than the viewers of the Hallmark Channel, the Military Channel, and the Golf Channel. Now, it's not like Fox is really that much of an outlier when it comes to cable news networks. CNN wasn't too far behind, average age of 63, MSNBC average age of 59, and CNBC 52 years old. Now, what are the youngest fully distributed cable channels? This is interesting. Oxygen Network, followed by Bravo, and interestingly enough, VH1 Classic, which is the one that shows older stuff, then Travel Channel and TLC, all averaging about 42 years old. Now, if ever there is an indication of how the news horizon, the news channel atmosphere is changing, it is those numbers. Because when you compare to our audience, 70% of which is under 55 years old, almost half of which is under 44 years old, we're clearly seeing, we may not even really be seeing a shift. There is somewhat of a shift going on, but it's also just the pie is changing. In other words, there are people who are just, rather than I don't think that most of our audience is switching to us from Fox News. It's just people who otherwise weren't consuming news are starting to, and it's shows like this, Sam Cedar, the Young Turks, etc.
Right. So 20 years from now, what do you see Fox News' situation looking like, unless they fundamentally change what they do?
Do we become Fox News in 20 years so that the same audience sticks with us? Are we just seeing a change in who and how news is consumed? And I don't know, Natan, what do you think?
It's hard to say. I mean, Fox News is like a relatively new creation.
And so is this type of program that we do.
Right, but what I'm saying is Fox is kind of more to the right than the mainstream conservatives and the mainstream Republican Party was even 15 to 20 years before then. So it's almost a move to the right, not an accurate portrayal of what happens to an adult when they get older.
For sure, for sure. I think it's uncharted territory.
Yes, very hard to predict what will happen, especially considering that news stations and media outlets can change and adapt. So who knows what will happen.